Hello and welcome to Weather on the Go. In today's video, I am going to be talking about continued severe weather here type of threats as we head through the end of this week into this coming weekend, and also take a look at a major heat wave that has still continued to be on track as we head into this weekend and especially into early next week. So welcome back everyone. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday out there. This is the Storm Prediction Center storm reports from yesterday into this morning here across the middle of the country and across the eastern half of the country as well. A lot of wind reports, a lot of hail reports, and even a couple of tornado reports here as well, especially up into portions of Nebraska and maybe even far southern South Dakota. But in general here, 4 tornado reports in general, 84 wind reports with 3 significant, 83 hail reports with 7 significant, for a total of 171 severe weather reports from yesterday into early this morning. As we head into this afternoon, the Storm Prediction Center's Day 1 categorical outlook does have a level 3 of 5, a enhanced risk for severe weather across south central portions of Nebraska, getting into north central portions of Kansas. This does include here portions of the Wichita area, maybe just to the north of you, and kind of inching its way over towards the Kansas City area, so do want to be on high alert there for some severe weather. They have also expanded the slight risk a little farther south to include much of eastern Colorado, portions of northeastern New Mexico, the northern Texas Panhandle here into portions of Oklahoma, and then another slight risk across the mid-south here across Arkansas into western Tennessee and portions of northwestern Mississippi as well, and then that marginal risk kind of extends up into the Ohio Valley and the rest of the Tennessee Valley as we head into the afternoon as well. But regarding the kind of the hazards with today's threat, we do have a significant wind risk here in that 15 to 30% wind risk across the center of the country and the Central Plains. This does include the potential for 75 plus mile per hour wind gusts with some of these storms, as a mesoscale convective system is going to originate across portions here of southern Nebraska and start to here dive east-southeastward into Kansas and perhaps here make its way into the middle and lower Missouri Valley as we head into the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning. Even with that, we do have a 15 to 30% hatched, portions of, the hail risk as we head into this afternoon and evening as well. 2 inches or larger hail, so some golf ball size hail or larger is possible with these storms, especially from the front range of the Rockies eastward and towards Nebraska. Northern and northwestern Kansas here can expect that threat as well. But even some hail risk here in general from 5 to 15% across much of the lower Missouri Valley, the Mid-South, getting up through the Ohio Valley, and then back here into the Southern Plains as well. And then that tornado risk kind of goes along with that enhanced risk zone here, that 5% tornado risk, especially with some supercells initially here before it starts to grow upscale into a mesoscale convective system as we head into late this afternoon across portions here of southern Nebraska into northern Kansas. So let's kind of look at the simulated radar of what the radar could look like as we head into late this afternoon. We got a lot of bubbling storms here as we head toward the 3, 4, 5 o'clock time frame across portions here of South Dakota, getting down into the panhandle here of Nebraska. Maybe some big hail, maybe some big wind, even a tornado threat, especially with these storms down here towards the panhandle here of Nebraska and even into portions of northeastern Colorado. These will start to grow upscale into an MCS cluster, a mesoscale convective system here with some embedded supercells, still with the continued, tornado risk, but with that, that strong damaging wind risk with winds over 75 miles per hour, 2-inch or larger hail, and this will continue to propagate its way to the east-southeast through Kansas and through the state of Nebraska as we head into the dinner time frame. Then it'll kind of start to drop more southeast here toward the Kansas City metro area, down towards the Topeka area, and maybe getting toward Wichita as we head into the early to mid-evening hours, and that'll continue to dive to the south and east with that threat for severe weather as we head into the overnight hours as well. But in addition to all those, the damaging wind, the large hail, and the tornado threat, we do have the potential for some flash flooding as we head into this afternoon, into this evening and overnight as well, with the Weather Prediction Center putting out a large slight risk zone for flash flooding across portions of Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and portions there of Arkansas as well. Even a marginal risk extending up here into portions of Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and then back into the Southern Plains, kind of along the Red River, into portions there of the northern Texas Panhandle here as well, with the potential for flash flooding. As we go into our Wednesday tomorrow, the Storm Prediction Center has even upgraded this day here from a marginal risk to even a slight risk across much of the Tennessee Valley, the Deep South, and into portions here of the lower Ohio Valley as well. This does include most of the state of Kentucky, southern portions here of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and portions there of West Virginia, and then getting back here into the Mid-South across portions here of Arkansas, north central Mississippi, much of Alabama, into northwestern Georgia. This does include close to the Atlanta metro area, getting back over towards, the Tupelo area, portions here of Birmingham, up toward Nashville, Lexington, Kentucky, and then getting up toward the Paducah area and then Little Rock here as well as we head into our Wednesday. And I'll show you this kind of the setup tomorrow as we head into tomorrow afternoon for the severe weather threat. You can see a lot of warm air here with temperatures rising into the 70s, the 80s across the region. So a lot of fuel for these storms, and especially a lot of fuel because we do have dew points rising well into the 60s and even some low to mid 70s, especially with southward extent into the deep south, portions of Alabama, Mississippi, maybe northwest Georgia into the middle Tennessee areas could see low to mid 70 dew points, with dew points, rising as high as 75, maybe 76 degrees as we head into late tomorrow afternoon. And that will be the culprit for fuel for these storms to kind of eat its way into severe criteria as we head into late tomorrow afternoon. Let's show you tomorrow's simulated radar. We've got some scattered showers and storms kind of bubbling up late tomorrow afternoon. This will continue here moving to the east as we have kind of a system moving from the Illinois Valley to the east. This will kind of here kick up some more storms ahead of that here with some, more energy coming in. We do have some scattered showers and storms really firing up around the Kentucky area, getting over toward the mid-Atlantic and then back through the Tennessee Valley. Kind of some popcorn type storms, but these will be potentially severe, so you definitely have to watch that. And then this will continue to kind of move off to the east, maybe growing a little more, in coverage as we head into the early evening hours with that stronger low-level jet starting to push in here as we head into portions of the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and then on up into the mid-Atlantic region here as well. And this will continue to kind of meander its way off to the east. Maybe some more stratiform rain, some embedded storms up into portions here of Pennsylvania, lower New York State, and then getting over toward New Jersey and Maryland here as well, with the potential maybe for a couple of strong storms here on the southern end of that into New Jersey, maybe Maryland, and portions of Virginia as we head toward the late evening and overnight hours. Even tomorrow, with the boundary kind of stretched out across portions here of the southern plains through the Tennessee Valley into the mid-Atlantic, you can expect some flash flooding potential in some isolated instances here, as the Weather Prediction Center has a marginal risk for flash flooding from the mid-Atlantic back westward through the lower Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley into the mid-South, and then even a little location here of some flash flooding here from northeastern New Mexico, southeastern Colorado into the western Texas and Oklahoma panhandles here as well as we head into our Wednesday. And then another severe weather risk here that's just kind of moving down the pike here, down the week. We do have another slight risk of severe weather here across portions of south central Nebraska, much of central and western Kansas, and in northern and northwestern Oklahoma as we head into our Thursday. This is the same area that has been repeatedly hit by severe weather, and it looks to continue as we head through the late portion here of this week with that slight risk zone in place. Also with a significant 15% risk of maybe for some 75 plus mile per hour winds, maybe 2-inch or larger hail, and I could guarantee you potentially this area may be upgraded potentially to an enhanced risk. We'll have to see what the Storm Prediction Center does do here in the next couple of days with this, but I do think an upgrade is possible as we head towards the Thursday time frame. So kind of looking at this, how Thursday will look up, we'll look at the NAM model, kind of the medium range type of NAM. We're going to see as we head into late Thursday afternoon into the early evening hours, some storms starting to bubble up around the front range of the Rockies, getting back into portions of central Nebraska, all the way down into northeastern portions there of New Mexico. But the storms up near Nebraska and eastern Colorado are the storms that I'm keeping an eye on, as we have another kind of mesoscale convective system that'll start to develop and propagate its way to the south and east here into Kansas and even portions of northern Oklahoma as we head through that time frame. And that'll continue here as it moves to the north, as it moves to the south and east from the north and west as we head towards Friday morning. Maybe some strong weather down toward the Joplin area into the lower Missouri Valley, maybe Tulsa here during the morning hours on Friday. So do want to be on guard for that. Also farther to the north, some heavier rainfall potential across eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, southwest Wisconsin here kind of to the north of this MCS. This is kind of, we'll have to see how this works out. Maybe some moisture robbing with this MCS to the south, but do still stand the potential of moderate to heavy rainfall across some portions here of eastern Iowa, southwest Wisconsin, into northwest Illinois heading into Friday morning. And then as we head into Friday, a 15% or slight risk of severe weather from the mid-south here across portions of Arkansas, getting into north-central portions there of Mississippi, western and northwestern portions there of Alabama, and then a far southwestern portions there of Tennessee, including the Memphis area, Tupelo, getting over toward Birmingham, and back toward Little Rock here as well as we head into our Friday. Also here on Thursday, we do have, that slight risk for flash flooding here going back to Thursday with that MCS cluster, or the MCS mesoscale convective system type of complex that will dive from the Central Plains down through the Missouri Valley and into the Mid-South as we head toward Friday morning, with a slight risk of flash flooding and even a marginal risk of flash flooding here as well, including the Kansas City metro area, getting up toward the Lincoln, Nebraska region, and then down towards here the Cape Girardeau as you head down towards portions there of Missouri as we head into Thursday evening. Generally, the next 3 days or so, you can expect where the active pattern will be setting up with those storm complexes developing, dropping southeast here from northwest and that northwesterly flow in the mid-levels. And you could definitely see some very strong returns here of some rainfall across portions here of Nebraska, east central Kansas, down through Missouri, and into portions there of northeastern Oklahoma, north central Arkansas, into the Tennessee Valley. Also some heavier rainfall being found from the northeast through the Ohio Valley and into the upper and middle Mississippi Valley region here from Illinois and Wisconsin, portions of Iowa, down through Indiana, Ohio, and then up through the north and east, with an active pattern across those areas as well. And then another active pattern still continuing across portions here of the Pacific Northwest here from Vancouver all the way down through portions here of Seattle, maybe Portland, Oregon here as well, but some drier weather is expected across much of the southwest as a building ridge will be building in here as we head into this weekend into early next week. And that's the ridge that I will be talking about. We have a very strong ridge that will start to be building as we head into early next week. But before that, even into this weekend, we have a lot of strong warmth coming in here off the desert southwest, the Four Corners region, getting into the southern plains. As we head into Sunday, this ridge will start to continue to build eastward, and this will include portions of the Texas Panhandle, through portions of the Colorado Rockies, all the way down here to New Mexico, even down here into western Mexico. A lot of warm air being pulled northward, and that'll continue even as we head into early next week here on Monday, to continue to slowly shift its way to the east and build, and that will continue here on Tuesday with potentially a stronger low starting to develop across southern portions there of Canada. We'll have to watch that for a frontal boundary across the middle of the country, and I'll talk about that here and across the Great Lakes region here in just a moment. Looking here, we do have a lot of moisture return here off the central and western Gulf. We got dew points rising well into the 70s, all the way up here into Iowa, Illinois, and portions here of the Ohio Valley. We could have dew points closing in on 80 degrees across the Tennessee Valley and the lower Ohio Valley as we head into the middle of next week. So some serious warmth and humidity, almost air you can wear across this region as we head into the middle of next week. And that will fuel the potential of some stronger storms again as we have that jet stream pushing well to the north. We got a northern stream jet stream with that very strong ridge across the southern portions of the United States as we head toward the middle of next week. While this does potentially stand the chance to change, we are seeing some indications here of a stronger storm system developing across southern Canada, with the frontal boundary extending down through portions of the northern plains, the Midwest, and into the portions of the Missouri Valley. And we do have a strong indication here of even a low-level jet punching in here into portions here of the Midwest and upper and middle Mississippi Valley region as we head into Wednesday. Peak heating time frame here as well during the late afternoon, early evening. Also seeing some very strong instability starting to develop on the outer edge of this building ridge off to the west, and we're starting to see some instability values climbing into that 4,000, perhaps 5,000 joules per kilogram range. We'll have to watch the northern end of that here for some severe weather. Also, here's some kind of signals for some supercell potential as we head into the middle of next week as well, with some very high-end supercell potential kind of on this scale. So we'll have to see that. Not necessarily seeing supercells, across Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin. But the potential is there. If any storm gets caught into this kind of environment, supercells will be possible. And what does have me concerned is that the GFS's, the 12Z GFS's storm relative helicity is actually off the charts across southern Wisconsin, far northern Illinois, all the way up to around 450 to 500 plus. So this is very concerning, especially when it does put some storms right over that area. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. The potential does exist for a pattern for a derecho to actually develop as we head toward the middle of next week, just before the Father's Day weekend. So we'll have to watch this across the Great Lakes, and then we could have a derecho potentially here coming through portions here of the central Great Lakes and then propagating its way here into portions of the Northeast as we head in towards the Wednesday night and Thursday time frame. So something to watch. This may change. This could change several times before now and then, but I did want to kind of raise your awareness that when we do have a strong ridge across the middle of the country, we got that jet stream pulling farther to the north, and then we kind of have that northwesterly flow and all that strong instability to the south and west of this potential storm complex. We do have to really watch here for the potential of progressive type of derechos, and those are the most the most intense type of derechos that can develop here are the progressive ones. So we'll definitely have to watch as we head in towards here, the middle of next week, as this could be kind of originate across portions of the Great Lakes and then drop southeastward here into the Ohio Valley or Northeast as we head towards that Wednesday, Thursday time frame. So do remember, June 15th through about June 16th, 17th time frame, do want to watch this area here potentially for some severe weather. Then generally here, as we head toward the Father's Day weekend, June 15th through the 21st time frame, that ridge will continue to be established across the middle of the country from the Central Plains down through the Southern Plains into the Deep South, and really across the eastern two-thirds of the country, really. We do have another trough kind of meandering across the Pacific Northwest with some rainier weather over there, and that's where they'll see that above normal precipitation continuing. Maybe some monsoonal weather here beginning across portions here of Arizona, New Mexico, and portions here of southwest Texas. But underneath that ridge, you're not going to have a lot of rising air, so a lot of sinking air and a lot of below normal precipitation can be expected here all the way through June 21st, and maybe even beyond there here as well. So I do thank you for watching my video. I know there's a lot to get to. Do be safe out there with all that severe weather across the Central Plains and really across the country. Do be sure to like my video, give me a nice thumbs up, leave any comments, questions below. I'll be able to answer those. And remember to subscribe to my channel here. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers, so please help me out, and I appreciate you guys very much. And I hope everybody has a great Tuesday.